What it do, beloveds? It's early out here, so. What's happening? What's up? Oh, how you been, beloved? Hope everything's healthy. What it look like? What's the good word? Sleeping off and shit. I just had to peek my head in. What's up, Pug? I'm back in school, so my ass be slow. Thought I was going back full time and shit. This shit crazy. Got mad shit going on. We on the countdown, still on the grandma countdown. I'm still waiting. Everything is healthy. That's what's up. I'm still waiting. I'm on that grandma count. Yeah. On the grandma count, just wanted to pull up and talk about a few things. Run a few things through the people and all that. Happy New Year, baby. What's up, cousin? Happy New Year. Yes, indeed. So, I know y'all see it. New York, April 23rd, Urban Indian Heritage Society. I got a lot of inboxes, emails, requests to stream it. We are not going to stream it. This is going to be very important, and you need to be here. Okay? You're going to need to be there. Well, I'm in Cali, not here. You could come here, but this ain't where that. New York, you need to be there. Right? We're going to tie in the law, the history, and the political activity to promote civic engagement. Y'all don't want to miss this shit. This is completely different than no grandma killers. It's styled and fashioned after no other, and we not done. This is just the fucking beginning, okay? Just the fucking beginning. It's been so much wonderful things going on. Right? And this is how we gonna walk these motherfucking dogs. Don't pay attention to these other niggas that ain't got no fucking tangible results, okay? Tangible results is what fucking gets it. Straight like that. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So I want to make sure that people understand we really was going to stream it. I thought about it, but at the same time, I'm like, the information that's going to happen, it need to stay on people's mind, not on their phone. Right? Not on their computer. It need to stay on their mind. Because this is going to promote a new healthy way of living, oppress-free living. You know what I'm saying? And that should be what niggas is looking for, to not be fucking oppressed. Not sit here argue with motherfuckers on the internet because you got your whole family to motherfucking argue. Right? So if you arguing and getting into all this shit with these motherfuckers on the internet, I pray that your ass is getting into it with your family the same way, because they the hardest fucking shell to crack. They are by far, hold on, the hardest shell to crack. And with that being said, oh yeah, I could do this. Yeah. And with that being said, spend that time working on your family, because they the ones that be acting the most crazy. You better understand that shit. Right? The real shit is elders making wild decisions and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Making sure you know how all your grandparents, your aunts and uncles want to be buried and shit like that. Oh yeah, you gotta be grown. You don't just get to call yourself chief. You don't get to just do that. You gotta really be boss talking. And what I mean by that is you gotta be in the good grace of the ones that know you trying to take it to the next level. Right? And lead by example. So with that being said, I want you to, make sure that y'all giving it up with your family. That's who get all your energy. They're the ones that's going to try and whip your ass the most. It ain't Dwight. Stop with that shit. Dwight. Nigga, it's y'all. Grandma used to say, if you smell cabbage everywhere you go, nigga, it's you. You smell cabbage everywhere you go, it's you. So with that being said, you want to make sure that you're giving the time The time is the tithes, and the tithes go to the motherfucking family. And sometimes you gotta take a break from them motherfuckers, especially when you're going hard for them and you feel undervalued and unappreciated, right? Family got a funny way of making you feel like that too. And it happening. You know what I'm saying? So, April 23rd, it's a day event. We're going to have a good time. It's a lot of people pulling up from out of town. Definitely, if you need to be pointed in the right direction, make sure the phone number. And that's on the flyer. Let me give it to you, just in case. Hold on, the comments. I'm going to drop it in the comments. So, yeah. And make sure y'all pull up. We're gonna be moving around. This has a lot to do with how you're gonna mobilize right where you are. Since we all can't be together, we all don't live on the same motherfucking, in the same space or whatever, but at the same time, we all got rights and we need to understand. And you gotta figure out what your state rights are, because that's where, or you gotta move. If you don't like what's going on in your country, you might have to move. I told y'all niggas I'm a refugee. New York did me dirty, right? And we had to migrate to California. I immigrated with an E. Right? I immigrated with an E. So, with that being said, make sure you know where you at with it. You want to be at peace, you make sure you go where you at with it. I don't know what's going on out this motherfucker, but I'm waiting on my baby to get here, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck. California got a lot of money and shit going on. So, I'm seeing what they giving away. It's a lot of minority women grants going on out here. The motherfucking governor, they was trying to ask his ass. This nigga said he giving away they got $50 billion surplus money. He's giving away every dime to the citizens. He talking about giving people with and without a car $5,000 a piece. See, sometimes when they piss a couple of these politicians off, it works out in a good way. And they try to cancel him like G Money, and that nigga said, I'm giving away every piece of this $50 billion to the state of California, the people of. So, I want to see what that's like, right? I went back to Wells Fargo. I don't know if people know Wells Fargo, my retirement, them, Fidelity. It was a couple of other investments that I made. And there was a big lawsuit, a class action suit, and people were entitled to a lot of money. So after that reconciliation, I'm back here. I wound up going back to Wells Fargo now. And just the things that Wells Fargo has to open up a business and shit now is completely different than it was 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, right? When they was fucking mismanaging and doing whatever they was doing when those people, because it was people that was working for them that was stealing fucking money, right? So now I said that to say they're giving all this fucking bread away. Bank of America. So it's best that you open up a business and try and live out all of your dreams now, because they giving away this guilt money. So when niggas is sitting there like, we want this, and we listen to what they giving away first to get that bread, to position yourself, because when you go to fight these fights for your land, when you go to fight these fights, nigga, you gotta have money. You can't do it because you are Indian. You need some chicken. You need some paper. You can't do it without it. And there's people that will give you that for your causes. Learn who the fuck those people are. Learn who the fuck those people are. Right? So now that it got quiet over here and stuff like that, people that always wanted to reach out, they reaching out now. It was too many motherfuckers around, and now it's been so quiet and shit, and I had to, they reaching out now, and it's a good time to reach out, because now the fucking road is clear again, right? And ain't nobody getting in the car, and ain't nobody riding motherfucking shotgun. Thanks, we'll drive, it's our lane. Let me just say that. Put that out there. But it's been a long time coming. Like I said, things are going good. Shout out to my cousin, bitch, graduated with a motherfucking 4.7. I'm trying to do the same motherfucking thing. Shout out to her. Today my little brother birthday. Shout out to him, Lil T. And it's my youngest brother. He's a year younger than my son. Yes, daddy got busy. Daddy got busy. I got a little brother that's younger than my son and older than my oldest. Don't ask no questions. But anyway, it's a beautiful day out here already. Rained a little bit last night. You know, it hardly ever rains out here, so they act crazy and they drive crazier. But we gonna put it on. This spot here is probably going to be the same spot that we have No Grandma Killers at. It's a beautiful place. Beautiful place. Right in a place where it needs to be, and we're gonna get people to go to that beautiful place. Kids to enjoy that beautiful fucking space that's right there for them. It costs millions of dollars. It's right there in the hood. Right there in the hood. And we're gonna get people to go there. Kids and elders. Right? Maybe if they get to see things, they're going to change their minds about a lot of things. But you got to place them in front of them. Right? Whatever that may be. I don't know if y'all know, but the rest of these motherfuckers, the Christians, they need to go back to church. Because this shit, without church, they fucking going all the way in. Right? They going all the way in. Check on them. They ain't fucking safe. They be trusting all these motherfuckers, you know. And I'm going to tell y'all, the African scammers is out to get your grandma's house. You better fucking check on your folks and make sure that they maintain what they supposed to maintain. Okay? That's facts, because these motherfuckers crazy out here. I'm seeing a whole lot of motherfucking scams go down, and that's why. Speaking of motherfucking scams, I heard the old scam burglars and fries and old scam burglars and spies and shit still scamming and whatever. Listen, y'all gotta be more careful, be more selfish around, you know, who your company is and shit like that. Take it from me. Let motherfuckers drain your motherfucking shit. You gonna need that shit for your family. Don't let these motherfuckers drain you, right? Don't even do it. Don't even do it. Like I said, Happy New Year. It's a beautiful day. I'm coming back. I'll be back probably Monday. Tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm 3 hours behind y'all, and you know, I'm always delayed in the week and shit like that. Tomorrow's Monday, Tuesday. So between Monday and Wednesday, I'm gonna do a drop on the 1950 census, baby. The 1950 census is coming in a couple of motherfucking days, 11 days. I'm feeling really good about that. I don't know how you feel, but I'm really happy about that shit. This 1950 census is going to be fucking interesting. We're going to go over the questions. We're going to go over the things that they asked people, what other information should have been added, how does this affect you, what did it do to ethnicity. We're going to get really big into it. I can't wait to do that. I had that planned as well. Let's get to that. It's going to be nice. 1950 census finna to drop. This is where you might be able to gauge some of your elders, because a lot of them are still here, right? A lot of them are still here that were born in the 1940s, and this is going to be really great to be able to show them the household composition, even to see whatever mistakes or additions to what we already know that the Census Bureau enumerators did. It's going to be fucking fire to see what it's like, you know, and this is the best fucking part, because a lot of the people that was doing the enumeration for the census, they're old, but some of them are still alive too. They want to make sure everybody's fucking dead, so you can't go choke nobody out for what they did to the Cold Crush brothers. This shit is fucked up. And we need to, now that these niggas all agree that there should be no daylight saving time, how about we fucking challenge that 72-year rule and get to all these motherfucking records right now? How about we do that? Can we do that? Yes, we can. We need a political body to do that. And Urban Indian Heritage Society is going to, in conjunction with American Indian Political Party. These are how we're going to do the good work. So we have the charitable works that we are going to be doing, the philanthropical things that we're going to be able to provide, and services that we'll be able to provide for people, in addition to the political strategy, right? That these niggas ain't never seen. They so busy doing all this other shit, they ain't never think how to insert themselves in the narrative. You know, and I know, the Great Law of Peace, my peoples wrote that. The Constitution, my peoples was there for that too. So everybody know what America means to me. I don't gotta fucking fight or dispute that. Right? Good, bad, and indifferent. This bitch is my mama. Right? And I love my motherfucking mama. And that's what's wrong with some of y'all motherfuckers. Y'all sit there and want to talk all this shit about your mama, but don't know your mama's problems or processing shit. Right? I wouldn't give a fuck. I know a lot of people who mothers ain't here, and they would take them back. Fried, dried, lean to the side, drunk, a needle in their arm, a pipe in their right hand, whatever the fuck. They would take their mama back. They would take their motherfucking mama back. So, I said that to say, make sure you're taking care of yours, man. Make sure you're taking care of yours. All of yours, right? That's a fact. A lot of reward in doing the right thing. Contrary to what these other motherfuckers is talking about. Contrary to what these motherfuckers is talking about. There are a lot of benefits for doing the right thing and not cutting fucking corners. Not cutting fucking corners. And a lot of this shit come natural to us. It comes so natural to us. Our natural fucking abilities is what runs the motherfucking world. Creativity. A nigga thinks some shit. And the rest of the world want to do it. We got so much power. We can make them stop stopping at stop signs if we want to. Fuck stop signs. We blowing through it. Everybody, the world, we got soft power like a motherfucker. We say, oh, this jacket, these is the jackets we wearing this season, nigga. Everybody wearing them motherfucking jackets. We have soft power, yes. But that ain't what we gonna need to run the kingdom. That ain't what we gonna need to build a nation or sustain a nation. Got something to do with it. It's a component, but it's a lot more than that. How you run your government, how you run your house, that's the government. That's the government. Sometimes it's totalitarian. That's the first fucking structure that a motherfucker is born into. Hierarchy, authority, someone to oversee your decisions because you're not capable of making them by being a minor. And the elders are the majors. That's the majority. Not because they're older, but because they're able to make decisions that govern for themselves and you as well. Because if not, it won't get done. So, you know, it has to be that way. So now, and I always used to post this, yeah, they cut my whole shit off. They cut my whole shit off. Then I could see that I was live, but couldn't say nothing. That shit was crazy just now. They cut me off. The whole app closed. And then I can see that I'm live, even though I'm not on. And then it asked me if I'd like to resume. I had to go through. Yeah, that was weird just now. But yeah. So, anyway. Y'all make sure April 23rd, you're in the tri-state area. Pull up. New York is going to be lit. We're going to have a little panel. We definitely, again, the 1950 census, hold your shit. That shit going to be powerful. Maybe mention it to your peoples that was born in the 1940s. Maybe mention it to them. That would be completely interesting for them. Or even people that were born in the 1930s, for them to see their young 20-something-year-old selves. Right? So, it's cool. I said government a couple times, too. That might have been a trigger word. Like, this bitch said it like 3 times. I said it like 3 times. Even though the context of which they probably thought wasn't even... whatever. But yeah, they did that. I see you. What's up, Renzo? Hi, Robbie. It's not letting me see everybody in there. And it's delayed. Star Child. What's up, baby? So, you know, Make sure y'all taking notes. Mention it to the elders about the 1950s, what they remember about the 50s. What do it do specifically 1950, but definitely the 50s at large. And with that being said, make sure you ask them if they are aware that the 1950 census is coming out. Do they remember when the census takers came? Did they tell them to stay away from the census takers? Did they tell them to hide from the peace shells? What up, Pfeiffer? Did they tell them to stay away from the census? You know, because they became like the Jehovah's Witness. You know how they tell you stay away from the window, don't go to the door. They was like that with the census takers too. You remember a couple years ago I did the show on the people in the town in I forget what county in Georgia, where they was like, no, it was Alabama, and they was like, yo, what you around here for, Mr. White Man? I don't want you to take the census no more. We did the census. Somebody came here a couple weeks ago, said they was from the census, and then next thing you know, the next day the sheriff came back, right? No, Bobby. Oh no, what did I just do? Hold on. Oh, there you go. No, Bobby, I didn't. My email, that 1492, that shit is burnt, sis. It's so many emails in there. I have to go like delete like 10,000 of them. Because I don't want to keep buying fucking storage and shit like that. So, definitely email me right now, Bobby. Do it right now, sister. I'll make sure that we talk. So again, I hope y'all doing well. Make sure y'all speak them positive affirmations. Speak the positive affirmations this new year. Make it different than it was last year. Better, bigger, and deeper, right? It's a beautiful day in Indian country filled with a bunch of beautiful motherfucking people. Y'all make sure y'all take care of yourself. We're going to get to the 1950 census. I actually might do that a little later. Might not even wait till Monday. But between homework and waiting to see if this baby going to come today or tomorrow, that shit is interesting as hell. Yeah, determined on that. But I'm definitely going to talk about this 1950. We got a couple more days, 11 more days. It's coming out April 1st. So if you already have your ancestry, make sure you pay your bill, right? And if you don't have ancestry, this would be a good time to get your free trial. Take your 14 days and burn it. Do whatever you're going to do with it, but make it do something. Whatever it is, it got to be funky, right? Make sure you do that. It's going to be fucking interesting. Some of our parents were born in the 50s. So the 1960s won't come out until 2032. And the 1970 census won't come out until 2042. And if I want to see myself see us as children, I have to live beyond 2052 just to see myself on the 1980 census, right? Facts. So I think we should petition that so we can get to what we need to get to. And then we need to take those fucking jobs, because they do be hiring to upload the microfilm so that everybody has a display of it for family search and for ancestry. And you know what's crazy? Volunteering for them back in 99, 2000, between 99 and 2001, and not really understanding how big of a scope it was going to be and what it was for. So now I said that to say we need to insert ourselves in these fucking places, right? So make sure you let some of these kids know it's okay to be a fucking librarian. Right? Make sure. Nothing wrong with being a fucking librarian. And that's going to be the wave. Being in the county, city, local records, the libraries, very good place to be. Right? Very interesting things going on beloveds in the background. Just make sure that you always acting in accordance and things like that, and within a certain scope of conduct. Because when it comes around, you want to make sure that your resume is good. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure your resume is solid. I know you guys see, and I really mean that, and I do know that someone did respond to Urban Indian Heritage Society.org, okay? Because it is an organization, and which we will be able to discuss membership and things of that nature. I did put on there, we did want to have volunteers to come and submit their resume. We're going to ask for professional things. And the reason why, because we need people that are going to be able to flow well in the scope of having a good record and being able to pass background checks, right? So that we can kind of, keep going, right? Not saying you have to be perfect, but we have to be able to get you into places that we need to get into without interruption, without fucking surprises and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? We want to go hard with this shit. We want to go hard. There's a lot of fucking levels to it. Let's get to them. We could walk and chew bubble gum, right? But I need people, like, I just need people to make sure that they stay focused on themselves and take care of your health. You can't do none of this shit if you finna tap out. And if you finna tap out, you better have somebody to pass the motherfucking baton to. We all gonna tap out at some point. But you better have somebody in line to pass the fucking baton to, right? If that's the case, that's what you work on. This other shit's a dub. You gotta work on what's right in front of you. That's first and foremost. Whether that's what you gonna eat for dinner tonight, right? Because I know life get real. This is why I say save the tears for the real till times, because life get realer than a motherfucker. Fuck this internet shit. And that's what's going to determine the depths of your character, right? In the moments where ain't nobody to fuck around. And you got to constantly keep rebuilding yourself bigger and motherfucking better. I'm going to encourage you to do so. Drink some motherfucking water. Eat some fucking fruit. Take a motherfucking walk. Get your ass up off the couch. Go enjoy the fucking really, literally, nigga. Take your ass outside and smell a motherfucking flower. When is the last time a motherfucker went outside, walks by some bushes? I don't give a fuck if they perennials. Smell the motherfucking flowers for real. The bees do it, and look at what they fucking produce. Literally. Go look at something beautiful, whether it's a fucking bird, a squirrel. Watch how nature's getting to it. These fucking birds ain't out here crying about no goddamn shortage of worms and shit like that. Motherfuckers feeding them bread. I'm watching birds go around the bread and boom, pull it up. And then shake the worm in their face like, nigga, we don't need y'all bread. Y'all don't need that bread. That bread ain't good for y'all. I just realized I was a violator. Thought I was good giving the birds the old fucking ends of the bread. They looking like, bitch, we don't need no fucking bread. You don't neither. Learn it. Go and learn you something. Fuck. Go and learn something. Shit. Fucking birds rolling their eyes like, bitch, we don't need no bread. We ain't looking at it. That ain't what we worried about. Yo. Go somewhere and look at the stars. Fuck. Look at something beautiful while you still got your gift of sight. Before you get old and the retinas detach and the glaucoma and the motherfucking shit settle in. Be thankful. Show some fucking gratitude. If you woke up today and got to brush your own teeth and wipe your own ass, nobody had to change your motherfucking diaper, baby. It's a good day. Stop being mad. Make it better. Make it better. And also, I want to say this. Because sometimes people be thinking they helping, right? Doing something good and realize they doing something completely fucking toxic, right? And I'll use the example of me fucking feeding birds bread. Think I'm doing good. I love feeding the birds. Get to relate to something that makes motherfuckers feel good, but it's fucking toxic. It's a fucking toxic contribution. And I was able to convict myself of toxic contributions. Damn, I thought I was doing what's right. You mean I was wrong? Now what do? I'll drop some fucking sunflower seeds. Because birds eat seeds. They eat worms too. But bread, nah, nigga, nah. Pizza? Fuck no. New York City pigeons do. You know? I convict my fucking self. That was a contribution to some bullshit. Right? I got this, oh, it's not here. But I have this pocket fucking ashtray that I got from Shinnecock years ago. And when I say pocket ashtray, because I don't like to litter. So even, you know, my little tips for my joints and shit like that, the raw tips or whatever, I put it in the thing. It doesn't smell. It's like a little pouch and shit, so it doesn't smell. But at the same time, fucking throwing my litter every fucking where, that's fucking weird. Like, I love America. I wouldn't spit on my floor. I wouldn't drop a bag of fucking potato chips on the floor in my house, so I'm not gonna do it on the ground. Even though the government think these states belong to them. Even though, but they think the states is theirs, but you know, and we make them, let them believe that. But anyway, you know, make sure you take care of your shit. Like, it gotta be clean all across the board. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be clean. Like I said, it's gonna be all right. This is a fucking righteous bill, and just stay in the realms of that. We don't gotta cut no corners. Niggas, you ain't gotta Malcolm X nobody for this shit. That's how the Aboriginals feel. They shit, they shit be pumped with larceny, with everything. Nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? They should be pumped with motherfucking larceny. They shit a little different. Right? But a motherfucker that, you know, right in his soul and shit like that starts to think things through. And the soul that guide you the right way. The nigga that listen to, you know, his inside, his intuitive self. Right? Not some other motherfucker. So, again, take your time. Literally, go smell some fucking flowers. It's a wonderful fucking euphoric feeling. And I don't mean go smell no loud, because that's flowers too. Don't smell the loud. Go smell fucking rose or some hydrangeas or fucking chrysanthemums or some shit. Fucking smell the flowers. Literally, go smell some fucking flowers. Might do something for you. Trigger something. You know what I'm saying? And people need that. So, and let me just say, with this status correction, I don't even know how the fuck motherfuckers is still talking about that. Because when you talk about status correction, it is correcting your own shit. It has nothing, you and your children, you have control over that. When it asks your race, you have proof of what your race is. Now you go and fix your shit that says anything fucking different. And if they say something and call you something you not, then you bust their motherfucking head. Point blank. It ain't all these declarations or all this other shit. Don't fucking pay no $500. Don't pay $20 for no fucking so-called status correction. I'm gonna need y'all to stop. It's so many motherfuckers that act like they know every fucking thing and been around all this motherfucking time and still getting motherfucking got. Shame the fuck on you, right? Shame on you. I done exposed the fucking scammers and niggas still getting got by the same old motherfucking purse snatchers. Shame on you motherfuckers. Try to drag my name through the motherfucking mud for telling the motherfucking truth. Now motherfuckers ain't gonna never apologize as loud as they was trying to drag Moon. Oh, I gotta say that. I was trying to get up out of here. I was trying to go. But I gotta say that. Gotta say that. We're gonna go back to that status correction. And if you really a G, right after you got your proof, you could fucking change your parent shit too. You change your motherfucking parent shit. You get your parents to change their shit. I didn't have to worry about everybody else. I needed to, I didn't even have to convince them. even if they don't understand everything that we understand. As long as they could trust you. Are you worthy of it? How do you prove your valor? I'm trying to tell you. A lot of responsibility with this shit. A lot of it. But most of it is your natural ability to do what's fucking right. Period. And I'm going to let it roll with that. We'll catch up soon. Do a presentation, show y'all some of these things from Hey Peasy Baby! Hey Peasy Baby! G major. Sack and Fox info. Hold on. I just seen that. Where you go, G? Black Hawk died, the other family. Well, that's a lot of Kentucky, Indiana, Chicago, Iowa. A lot of lands were settled like, the fucking Cherokees was in Iowa. The Chickasaws owned a lot of Iowa. There's a lot of things that they said people didn't have, just like they try to displace everybody and act like the Cherokees wasn't in Virginia. I found Choctaws in North Carolina, right? Catawbas was in Virginia before they ended up. You see? So this is why I'm like, people don't understand the different migrations. So it is worth doing the connections to the tribes, especially even if, in terms of the weird situations, like, y'all know I always told y'all how our Cherokee lineages, that shit is, it's weird because of the conflict, right? Even though we have nothing to do with any of that conflict, but I know for the last 5 years, I've been telling y'all, y'all better be careful with that Cherokee shit because it's really a wild story, right? And it's nothing pretty. And you got to have a stomach for this genealogy shit. I've always said that, right? And now that people are seeing how family was doing all that, they still won't even act like that because it wasn't all Dwight's fault. And then especially when the treaties, after they broke the treaties with the United States that they had, let's say, danced in Rabbit Creek, and they went and signed these treaties with Jefferson Davis for the Confederate States of America. When they had to issue the new 1866 treaties, they still owed these niggas money, right? They couldn't dissolve the contracts that was there for the land that they were ceded. So let me just explain that, because people always saying stuff like, well, why are they still getting money and this and this and that? Nigga, they got a long-standing accountant, right? They got a long-standing accountant. They was owed this money from before, and it's still the annuity, right? So now, I just read a little piece, and I want to go back to that because they say stuff like, first of all, who are they saying when they say blacks and whites intermarried into the tribes and their children, and some of them were slaves of the 5 civilized tribes, right? But then they also refer that to them and the descendants. So they're saying freedmen is specifically for slaves that were owned by the people that ended up here in Oklahoma. All right, I think I got it narrowed down, but I'm still trying to find out, why are these motherfuckers saying that these niggas is African when they're not? Because all they did was enslave fucking Indians, right? And there was no Africans after 1808. So I'm really fucking confused here. Really confused here. And I think they are too. And those are some of the things that we're going to sit down and talk about, right? Those are some of the things we need to sit there and talk about. Those are things that are on, I would say, the micro scale for the community at large, but that's something that's on the grand scale for the people that are actually descendants of freedmen, right? So, and I say that, so it's important that you remember that you were Indian, because if you go in that way, those are the things that have to be rebutted within that community. But that's how you have to get civically involved and see if there's a way you can have civic engagement in order to make sure you're protecting your people that you belong to, however it goes down. And that's irrespective of what type of Indian I may be. That has nothing to do with me and my plight at large, right? but it's an Indian problem nonetheless. So I said that to make sure that, you aware of your own problems before you go and take on everybody else shit. You can't take on everybody's lamentations because it's not true about you and yours. The same way black people universally associate themselves with slaves, right, as being slaves and shit, we know that that's not true, right? By our own story. Well, we also know that everybody's not Indian. We know that too, right? And we also know that there's some pilgrims that got misclassified as well as us. We know that too. So there's going to be plenty of different arguments that come down and different people that claim that they're Indian down the pike. And guess what? A lot of people are going to be right and some motherfuckers going to be wrong. Understand that. So I don't know how people are going to feel about when the pilgrims come through and they show they poof, same poof we got, but it just say something different. But it was something negative that offended them, and their grandma was very much the same grandmas that we saying was our grandmas. Ooh, how a nigga gonna feel? Is that gonna be your cousin too? I'm just asking. How will you wanna keep it? How will you wanna keep it? Oklahoma by blood. Yeah, I don't understand that. I think freedmen, so now, and it's not a long-term word, right? It's not a long-term word. And when they say freedmen, in my mind, I think POWs that were captured during the Civil War fighting for one side or the other when they were supposed to be for the Union and basically essentially just protecting their thing. So now when you go back, it says, now look at the Oklahoma Constitution. Now, years ago, we ran through the on the radio, when we used to do the Blog Talk Radio, we did the state constitutions. We ran through the state constitutions, and there was always this one part in Oklahoma that stuck out to me, the Oklahoma State Constitution. And it talks about the military and kind of like running the military. It's a weird statement there. And there's also another weird clause in there that says, something about, basically like, okay, so when the people wake up that's entitled to this land, the people that's there gonna have to fucking move. And flash forward 7 years later, now with the Murphy and the McGirt decision, where 1.5 million people were threatened with being removed from Indian territory, right? And also exposing that some of these lands are still very much active reservations, as they were in their state when the treaty was signed. Who? So who got to go over there? All the motherfuckers that refused. So when folks know that they're related to these people that's in the east of the Mississippi, that did not go on the Trail of Tears, that did not migrate, where do they think they gonna go when they say they want their land back? Nigga, you're going over there with your tribes. That's how it was supposed to happen. So when they say freedmen, the only instance I could think of, especially if the motherfuckers not on the tax records, all right, so when they was removing the people from Alabama and they was removing people from North Carolina and sending them through those stations over the Tennessee border, I forget what the name of the military posts were that they had our people. Because now they try to camouflage it. They will show you all the Trail of Tears signs, but they don't be like, this is the military post where they was locking motherfucking Indians up. Happy New Year, all out. Happy New Year, baby. Right? So now they don't talk about where those posts exactly were, even though by researching them, you can certainly find out. It was like 4 or 5 of them, and like most of them were in North Carolina. It was like 3 of them in North Carolina, 2 or 3 in Tennessee, primarily. And I do believe that there was one in Alabama, but the Alabama one would still get them to Tennessee. It was by way of Tennessee. But anyway, they don't have the records, the tax records of how many slaves they had prior to them leaving, right? Because they would have been property owners. So they had ceded their land, which means they got paid for land that they given up over there to go into Indian territory, right? They leave an Indian country to go into Indian territory. They taking their slaves' inventory with them. Where's the records of their fucking inventory? Where's the records of their inventory saying that they had these so-called freedmen? I'm not so convinced. Where are the records of them owning these people? You just didn't own these people and call them freedmen and bring them into the nation. They're the fucking Indians that may have been convicted of a felony inside the United States. Because there's two different countries. The Choctaw Nation is a completely different country than New York. It's a completely different country than the United States. It's a different nation. It's not the same. And Oklahoma is in the Choctaw Nation. Oklahoma is in the Seminole Nation. It's in their country. So it's really weird to me. Nobody's ever made them provide any type of records of what they owned. How many slaves did they own when they was still in Georgia? How many slaves did they own when they was in South Carolina? How many? Where the records at? Where are the records of that? You can see who stayed behind and was able to avoid the military, right? But none of the people that are on the freedmen's rolls, I have never seen it argued or brought up to demand what records existed before they went, because they would still have to have an accurate account. Right. And by Rabbit Creek, by the 1820s, that would have been a lot of tribes' opportunity to have dual citizenship in the United States. Right? Now watch people running around stealing them questions and trying to act like that come from them and shit. I just felt it go out. But check it out. They the Indians, right? Facts. That's a fact. They the Indians. I ain't trying to hear none of that. So they saying how they intermarried with all these other people. Nuh-uh. The white intermarriages got a big old I fucking W, right? You know they white intermarriages. Yeah, you can tell that they're white intermarriages from the other documents. So, but as far as Indian law, them motherfuckers was not marrying outside their motherfucking tribe. They wasn't marrying outside their tribe. And why would they marry Africans who Africans can't even own no land? They couldn't have any interest or purchase or have any of that fucking land. So them freedmen ain't no motherfucking Africans. Woo, and they need to stop it. I'm tired of them saying that shit. It's not enough evidence. We don't believe you. That's what they need to be saying. Right? That's facts. That's facts. So, but again, we only have to argue the points that's never been argued for the group of people, and it hasn't been argued because niggas was saying they this, they black, they African American, they this, they that, they this, they that. Niggas stand on what your grandma is, right? Yes, I'm always confused. And this is why them FBA niggas, I know they're not going to engage. A lot of them, and they're just the same old remnants from different clubs and people that, you know, fucking crisis actors and shit like that. and make all these calamities and shit like that that don't exist. And they have to do that because they don't have any solutions. We got all the fucking solutions in the world. So why people still running around with the white man did this and all that pain and shit in your heart? I'm not saying they didn't. But if you want to get some motherfucking act right, I'll show you how to get the skin in the game. And when I say get the skin in the game, it fucking make them lose arms and legs. And they never see it fucking coming. And this the shit they wrote down. I can't even use my personal opinion or anything. But the law and shit that they wrote, that shit is boss. And I'm with that shit. They just not used to it being used against them. That's that. How do you push that envelope? Nigga blew 2 at me, I blew 4 back. Considered a Negro than a free man. They out of their mind. And then this is another thing that bothers me. Because there's way more other tribes over there than just the 5 civilized tribes. And people don't understand the absorption. So if you was getting kicked out of your tribes for even marrying other Indians, but tribes they may not have been cool with, you mean to tell me they was able to marry all these extra Africans or these new white people and shit like that? They wasn't marrying new white people. They was marrying their old fucking Alabama sweetheart, Becky Sue, and they fucking old, they full of shit. And some of them motherfuckers didn't make it. And they did not recognize certain marriages. Understand that. They did not recognize them. It does not mean that people wasn't fucking living like man and wife. Okay? Facts. I have a really good drop. This movie is one of my favorite fucking movies. Dope actor. Matthew McConaughey is a dope fucking actor. And he always plays movies that make color folk come out right in the wash. It's a style of movie like The Lincoln Lawyer, A Time to Kill with Sam Jackson, and my favorite is Free State of Jones. It has him and Mahershala Ali. It has him in it also. It's a really excellent movie, and it's about Jones, Mississippi, Jones County, Mississippi, and how it almost became a state. And it became a state by runaway white people who were slaves and deserters of the Confederacy. And also, it became so-called slaves from different jurisdictions that made it to the swamps of Mississippi. You have a bar owner that was helping them. I think she was of like some kind of Jewish or Russian descent or whatever, some shit like that. And she had a medicine woman who was an Indian. And she, in real life, this is a story of the Free State of Jones, but this is real, true shit. And I'd like to talk about them. I got pictures. So now you know that these niggas was living next to his white wife, and he had 2 Indian wives, and they all living on the same motherfucking block. So Rachel Knight is from Virginia. So if you know the days, if you know the nights, you know the days. So there's some Nancy Man heritage there, and there's also the migration in Georgia that can be verified of who they are. So sometimes when they had to hide, they became the total opposite. Days became nights. Nights became days, right? Rogers became Roger's son, or they dropped the D. Roberts became Robert's son because they had to kind of have an alias or a completely different flip-flop from fucking Jones to, Tucker. But it's very interesting. So anyway, politically, they turned up. They whipped the Confederate Army's ass. They really didn't want anything to do with anything. And the Confederate burnt down their farms and all types of shit. And you had a whole bunch of deserters, slaves, and everybody that was on the run from the Union Army, from the United States. in the woods, holed up for almost a year. They had a very long time. So this is very fucking interesting. The Hatfield and McCoys, nigga, that's you. Some people is McCoys, and I'll be laughing like, you never heard of Hatfield and McCoy's story? Like, anyway. So, interesting feuds that they just associate with pilgrims and stuff like that. But that's because, again, people have no idea of how deep our history is, and they certainly never expected us to grab a hold of it. So, it's got some things, some variables that just have to be adjusted and tweaked and shit like that. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of solutions, and that's when you have solutions, you feel better. It's less stress. Keep it live longer, because I told you what the chief told me. And I do believe they got it. I do believe the Florida Muskogee did just now get federally recognized. Shout out to them. Their application's been there for a little while. So one of my Choctaw chiefs that I know of that now belongs to the Muskogee Nation of Florida, she told me that always have a good doctor and take care of my health, because the battles were going to be long and strong. And she said, remember, this shit causes vexation, constipation, so make sure you enjoy your relaxation. Yo, that shit used to be hilarious, but it was absolutely true. And it was just a whole spiel. And I always respected that, and I carried that with me throughout this whole journey, because every word of that was true. So I'm saying, now you got solutions. It's things we could do. Let's just work with that. Work with this fucking solutions. All that other shit is just something to rage about, because that's a fucking defense mechanism. People are used to be able to lamentate about things, especially about things that they hate and things that they bother them. Well, how about people fucking give gratitude and lamentate different in regards to how well they're adjusting to the gifts and shit that they have. You should be thankful for, right? Especially in your media space. But the Indian got a whole set of problems, and I definitely can't wait for it to be understood that. And this was part of the reason that, shout out to Sister Bethy, we were having a whole disagreement, but we can agree to disagree and have a respectful conversation, right? And this was so dope about it, and how we brought it online. And my argument is not with the BIA, especially when I know once we tribe up, the BIA has to help you with your constitution, your bylaws, the structure, and things like that. Nobody is stopping Indians from being Indians. Nobody is stopping people from being an Indian tribe. What they are saying is these criteria. And if people want to call it 25 U.S. Indians or whatever, Title 25 or whatever you want to say, it doesn't matter. What are you? You have to be something. You have to be something, and it's always going to end up about the politics, whether people, fucking don't like it or not, right? So, anyway, I said that to say all of these things is going into a place exactly where it needs to be. And when I say by that, in a positive way, because everybody else ain't going to get the results they think they're going to get. And if by chance, by the fucking small chance they do, for example, ADOS get their little $250,000, do you realize then they have to shut the fuck up, right? They have to shut the fuck up. And that's going to be the end of that, right? And Jeff Bezos, when he get his money, and he get his money or whatever, because they got to find out now if that means an abandoned people that was nobody wanted them. They're gonna have to deal with something like that. And I'm gonna just say that and leave that there, because the black thing don't go to any original people, and I don't know why. Somebody needs to question that. It doesn't go to any of the original. Its origins in one of the black races of Africa. So Africa is really a white. I'm not gonna fuck. Yes, but anyway, I ain't gonna do it. It's early out here. I'm 8 o'clock out here, so. I'm gonna say that again. So they better be careful. But this shit is hilarious. But the Indian got solutions. You know what I'm saying? And you definitely got soul. Because if you did, you wouldn't be in here. Be in here, right? That's a fact. The soul people. Oh, so let your soul glow. That's all you gotta do with it. That's all you gotta do with it. But I'm glad y'all came to see me this morning. I definitely missed the wave. But it's cooking. It's cooking. It's bacon and eggs. I don't need swine though, but it sounded good. But I want you to know it's a beautiful day in Indian country and we got shit to do. So again, stay right. And no more ADOS on the block no more. I bet they not. And FBA, I done seen somebody added me to some motherfucking group chat on Twitter. Hey Tim, I miss y'all too, honey. Some somebody tagged me and I think it's a bootleg Umar Johnson page. Even though this person has like 154 subscribers and shit. They tag me. Don't put me in the motherfucking back chats. I mean, if they tagging me, by all means, that's fine because sometimes I don't see shit, and that could be cool. So, cause you could put me on, but don't add me to no group chats with them motherfuckers. It's a few people there that and I ain't got nothing against them, but they definitely not on my level, and I don't want to school them. I don't want to school them. It ain't for them, right? It ain't for them. Yeah, yeah. This ain't for everybody. So I don't, a motherfucker show you if they want to know some shit, if they trying to learn some shit. You don't just go force them because a lot of these motherfuckers ain't Indian, y'all. And I said that, I was saying that for years, they're not. So make sure you don't just force that on nobody. That's the same thing as motherfuckers blacking people out in reverse. It's the same shit. Same shit. Same shit. So, okay, beloved. I see you, Lord. I see you. Yes, so you know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Happy motherfucking New Year, y'all. It's a beautiful day. It's probably gonna be nice in most places, right? I don't know what the weather's like, but if it is, get your ass out and go see what the bees is doing. Make sure the bees is still around. They be trying to knock them niggas off. We ain't gonna be able to survive without a lot of these animals. And y'all know goddamn well I don't like no motherfucking bugs, but I know that they're important to the fucking planet, right? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, and I figure when I'm finally, by the time I can't run no more, that's when I'm gonna be all right with the bugs. I ain't gonna have no choice. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be a day where I can't run from bees. I'm gonna have to sit down face to face with a butterfly one day. Right? Right. I had to sit in a tent with a motherfucking dragonfly for like 15 minutes. I wanted that nigga to go. I started making up nicknames for him and shit. But I didn't run. That was the day I didn't feel like being a motherfucking track star. Right? And there'll be a day where I don't care about bugs. There will be a day. So. But anyway, y'all stay inspired. Y'all be all right. You right, baby. Balance is key. Balance is absolutely key. Y'all stay enlightened. You know what I'm saying? Go and think of something. What else is going on in the world that ain't being manipulated by humans? And just enjoy that fucking moment, because those will be the things that, make you not look at everything and take everything fucking personal. Animals got a whole different thing that's going on that has nothing to do with they don't give a fuck about Ukraine. They don't give a fuck about none of this shit going on. It's so cool to be like, hey, damn, they can give less fucks about anything and everything. Right. That's right, Mr. Waldo. That's right. We should definitely have a conversation whenever you're ready. We can probably talk about that, because I've always questioned all of this. I just want to know if they were so mad at the Seminoles for helping all the runaways, and the Seminoles wouldn't turn the over, and those runaways were mostly Indians that was descendants of the same motherfuckers that fought for the British, right? Yes, indeed. And they was trying to spend a lot of time trying to get down to motherfucking Florida. Oh, yes, they was. So this is where I'm so confused. I'm very confused with all of this. The Seminoles didn't have any fucking slaves. So if they didn't have slaves, how the hell do the Seminoles have freedmen? I'm not buying that. I ain't buying it. It don't make sense. It don't make any sense. So these are the things that need to be argued. And they're good arguments. They're good arguments. Right? So my argument is not the fact of people being identified or misclassified and all this other shit as black right now. The problem is in these programs and everything that is the Indian is entitled to is now disguised and held captive by having to be a federally acknowledged, recognized entity, which calls them Native Americans. So my problem is having to be called a Native American when I'm an American Indian, not an African American or them thinking I'm black. I don't fucking know what people talking about with that shit. My problem is having to be called a Native American. So these are the legislative things that need to be worked out and discussed. And they never were. They never were. So that's what I mean about having different conversations that's useful and can be argued by the laws that they provided, right? And then also positions politically to have the laws that are there that are harmful repealed and removed. If we built this motherfucker, we could change the narrative. It's really just what it is. It's really what it is. What can you do? And it's completely legitimate, and we can't wait to sit down and talk about it. And discuss a future with Urban Indian Heritage Society. This is something that's going to be here long after we dead and gone. Long after we dead and gone. And that's what we are looking to do. Certainly, the mission statement, if you haven't had time yet, please go check out our mission statement and see how many different additions will be added on as we progress as a collective. Historical changes on the horizon, and there's a lot of people that are looking to do things differently. And they have been had to stay out of the way because of the way things, appeared. So now that everything is smooth and people are ready to take things to the next level, and we're going to need contractors. We're going to need people that can build, construction, people that own companies. We are certainly going to use your services to build different communities in distressed areas and buy some of this distressed property and rehab them. There's a lot of things so that the Indian can have spaces that are safe for them to go and contribute to the communities at large in which they live. So that is how part of some of the things that we are looking to do. So that we are able to make sure things are done the way that we're going to. And, there's also going to be the resume because for a decent way to thrive, I do understand that our board of directors are not going to be in direct conflict. So this is why we are also looking for resumes of professionals, because there's a lot of things involved, especially for us to be mobilized, and the people that would absolutely sponsor some of the things that we are looking to do. I want when it's all said and done, people will be able to submit things that within their have certain questionnaires based off of where they are from, or where they're living at now, and we make sure that they understand how to push different envelopes politically. We're not going to get into any personal. I'm not. I'm over the if, you know the you got arrested stuff. I don't. That's family. I saved my shit for tribe. I don't go outside of that. So that's not something that we talking about no more. You should know how what your rights are, and that's we're not going down that slippery slope. Um, but being able to articulate and look at who's around you in your community and how to insert yourself in the narrative. That is something that are definitely, and also we're going to need people to submit information about their cemeteries, where they think that their people are buried. Are there landmarks, things like that that need to be preserved? Do you see fit for renaming different things? Um, that are maybe inappropriately named and things like that. Sometimes they put shopping centers on top of some of our ancestral graves and things like that, and we have a right to be able to collect our people. So this is some of the things. The Heritage Society is for the preservation, the acknowledgement, and the sustaining, right? And it is a special population, considering the misclassifications that have started for generations. So there is a different narrative that we have in regards to what it is that we've been through ancestrally. And there's some things that don't have anything to do with all of us per se, but there's still Indian problems nonetheless. And we can consolidate those things in order to have on the right jacket, to be able to have performance, to be able to sit down and have a seat at the table so that our voices get heard, because they do exist and they can't coexist without us. And that is a problem. So there's things that we just never push the envelope. See, we've always, they always make the presentation for everybody just getting their ass beat, but they ain't had a plan for the bosses and shit. So once a nigga know that this is their land, and we the people come from their people, like why would you doubt that it is your responsibility, if you have the mental acuity or wherewithal, the courage and bravery to be able to step out to make things obvious, for one, that you're fucking sick of something, right? And you're not gonna fucking take it. And number two, to be fucking brutally a squeaky fucking wheel, right? To get oil applied, right? So now this is the thing. So now you have to make sure that we are in this jacket. And this is the same thing. And however they feel about it, or they want to leave it up to God, because the fucking Christians still, they need to take their ass back to church, but politics was in the Bible too. I don't know who fucking mixed that. They mix it with the way it's making them feel, instead of the way it's making them think about the people that refuse to self-govern themselves and rule over the shit that they were supposed to rule over. Now you make an agreement with the fucking Gentiles, right? Indians make a treaty with the fucking Europeans, and now everybody done bumped their head and don't know what happened. Same thing. Whatever. I ain't going there neither. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of levels to it. And it's been carefully thought through. And again, there's a lot of people and things available to show that we can get some things done. I just realized, the Republicans pay like $3 for every dollar you raise, right? There's a lot of shit involved. But you can't all do that if you screaming, fuck everybody, everybody, everybody. Because it's not real. You gonna say fuck somebody, you gotta make sure it's the right motherfucker. Don't be shadow boxing, right? Don't do that. Do that. Move on. I'm gonna move on. Slide, so that's that Nipsey Russell shit. I know that's right. I was gonna say that. Slide some oil to me. I always do the Nipsey Russell tears. A teeny, a teeny. But yeah, so they did it again. That shit was unable to be connected. All right, they want me off this thing, off this train. I got stuff to do though anyway. So I love peace and hair grease.